Hello, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. The Mint Theatre Society is delighted that you're able to join us as our studio audience today here at the BBC for our radio performance of the Gin Chronicles in New York. Please feel free to applaud, gasp, boo and cheer along as we broadcast to radios in sitting rooms all over the belly old British Isles. So the cast are ready. 3, 2, 1, and off we go.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
it is with great pleasure that the Mint Theatre Society
welcomes you to their brand new adventure in the Gin Chronicles series.
The Gin Chronicles in New York.
The year is 1947.
A year in which George Marshall unveiled his plan to help Western European economies avoid collapse.
Meanwhile, in Australia, an ill-tempered Ashes series was secured by Donald Bradman and his team in a 3-0 drubbing of England.
And over in the United States, the Truman Doctrine established the policy of the US to support free peoples.
Whoa!
Who are resisting attempted subjugation.
Hey!
We now join our brave idiot detective, John Jobling, and his erstwhile assistant and housemaid, Doris Golightly, as they arrive at New York City.
You there, hazelnut!
I'm sorry, may I help you?
Oh, I'm sorry, may I help you?
Oh, Polly, that is a good impression.
Would you like a cup of tea? Cheery-ho! God save your stiff upper lips. Listen up, hazelnut. You're in New York now.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that, but...
The Big Apple, the city that never sleeps.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we were doing the introduction. I don't understand what's going on.
I'll take it from here. Thank you. Welcome to the New York passenger ship terminal. All visitors to the United States, please keep to the left-hand side. Tutti visitatori negli Stati Uniti si prega di tenere sui lato sinistro. Tous les visiteurs aux États-Unis, s'il vous plaît, gardez à la gauche.
It sounds as if she's speaking in different languages. Her accent is so thick, I can't be sure.
Ahoy there. Waiting time is currently about 2 hours.
Well, Mr. Jobling, look at the queues. We'll be here for hours.
Oh, Doris, don't worry. There'll be a shortcut for us. Look, I'm sure. Remember, we have a very good relationship with the Americans. Think Churchill, think Roosevelt, Laurel and Hardy, George III or George Washington.
Hey, you.
Who, me?
Yeah, you British?
Yes. Why do you ask?
Come this way, please.
Oh, goody. I told you we wouldn't have to queue, Doris.
Would you like our documents?
No, you people can get through immediately if you can complete the following test.
Oh dear, I was never very good with tests at school.
In front of you are 3 gin and tonics. 2 of them use inferior tonics, but one of them uses Jeffrey's tonic water.
Jeffrey's tonic water. A proven cure for tennis finger, batsman's bulge, and all known diseases from French West Africa.
Oh, it's quite clearly that one.
Well done. You may go through now. Have a nice day.
That was easy. Where's our luggage?
Here's your cases, madam. Sir.
Jobling!
Angus?
Good to see you.
How are you, old boy?
Well, I've lots to tell you.
Good, good. Look, first let me introduce you to my,
He needs tipping jobbers.
Sorry.
Jobling here's from London. They don't really tip over there.
Thank you. I love your accent.
But I don't have an accent. Oh, look, anyway, let me introduce you to my housemaid and assistant in detection.
Doris Golightly. How'd you do?
I've heard about you both with all this detective lark. Never really had old jobbers pinned as much of a thinker.
A lot of people say that. I just think those that do underestimate Mr. Jobling. He's a very clever man in his own way.
Move already!
Oof! What just happened?
A typical New York greeting.
Look here, Angus, be a good sport, would you, and take us back to your apartment. I need to lie down after all the trouble on the voyage over.
No, can do, I'm afraid.
What?
Oh dear.
Sorry, jobbers, but I've fallen madly in love.
Oh.
With an actress. She's coming over to mine this evening for an aperitif before we go to dinner.
Oh, sounds an excellent plan. What's her name?
Toffee LaRose. She's an actress.
Well, that's a lovely name.
Isn't it?
Yes. Look, as for us, you've no need to worry. We won't get in your way.
Oh, of course.
It's not that. It's just, well, I've no room.
No room? Why not?
You see, Toffee loves Scotland and all things Scottish. Except for the bagpipes. She loathes the bagpipes.
Oh.
I've had to speak to them all individually to explain why I'm packing them away. My beautiful bagpipes. They've been placed in the guest room and the maid's quarters.
Sorry, Mr. McBatehoven, but how many bagpipes do you have?
459. My dream is a vast orchestra of bagpipes from my magnum opus, Ode to the Thistle. Forget Wagner and Boulez. I want 500 bagpipes in utter harmonic concatenation.
I can't think of anything worse.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. McBatehoven, but to be clear, we're
going to need to find other lodgings, I'm afraid. I would have told you, but you were at sea.
Don't worry, Miss Golightly. We'll check into a hotel.
Extra, extra! Annual American Gin Convention comes to New York. All hotels fully booked. No spaces left.
Oh, lovely. A gin convention.
Yeah, that's all very well, but did you hear the other part? There's nowhere to stay.
Room rentals in Hell's Kitchen. Only rooms left in entire city. Anyone looking? Lovely spacious dwellings in New York's most desirable neck of the, woods.
You there, young man.
I am an old lady.
All creatures great and small, eh? Well, you mentioned having rooms for rent.
3 of them.
We only need 2.
That's what I said. 2 of them.
No, you didn't.
What are the amenities and how much are you charging?
Well, they both have floors and walls. One of them has a beautiful view of the night sky and the other does not.
Lucky it's summer, eh?
$10 a night each and no dogs.
That's daylight robbery.
That's why they're only available at night.
Fresh linen?
Huh?
Clean toilets?
One, to be shared by all guests.
How many guests?
42.
We'll take it for $1 a night each.
You drive a hard bargain.
Actually, I drive a Triumph Roadster.
And there was me thinking the British had quite the sense of humour. $5 each.
$2 each and not a penny more.
Very well. $2 it is, payable in full now.
Half now, half at the end.
Done. Here are the keys.
Thank you.
Address is the Hotel Zoodalore on the corner of 48th and 11th. That way.
Very well. There's your money.
And no dogs.
Yes, thank you and goodbye.
Little Miss Snooty Pants, huh?
Well, that's marvellous. You've got a roof over your head.
Hardly.
Oh, don't worry, Doris. I don't mind slumber al fresco.
Let's put all that in my car. Sorry, automobile. Fairchild!
Yes?
Put these cases in the boot. Sorry, trunk habit. Now, let's all get in.
Oh, thank you, Mr. McBeethoven.
Fairchild!
Yes?
To the Hotel Zoodalore, please.
Yes?
Mummy, I don't think I've ever seen a car this big as long as I've been alive.
It's a Pontiac Riverliner. More room than the Streamliner with more fish in the sensual aquarium thingy. Thank you, Fairchild. You'll be all right for a few days. When she, as in Toffee, has gone back to Hollywood, I'll get Honeyman, my butler, to festoon the place with bagpipes, which will inspire me whilst I compose, and then the rooms will be free so you can come and stay. Right, home, Fairchild.
Yes?
Have fun, you two. And don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Sorry, Mr. Jobling, but I can't say I'm much looking forward to this.
Oh, Doris, it'll be fine. Seems like a fairly civilized neighborhood.
Get out, you bum!
I'm going. Ha! Missed.
Next time!
What are you looking at?
Right, Doris. Better get inside, methinks.
We went straight up to our rooms. In my room, the bed was functional, but there was no other furniture apart from a stool with 2 legs and a wardrobe with no doors. Mr. Jobling's room had no ceiling, and there was a family of eagles nesting in one corner. There was the occasional rat.
Now, you eaglets, leave that poor rat alone.
But apart from that, it was really just the eaglets finding his clothes comfier than the nest.
Hello there.
Engelbert, my parrot, who'd been such a good boy on the journey across the sea, didn't want to leave his cage initially because of the eaglets.
Staying in here. Staying in here.
But then he flew off to Central Park to see some of his relatives.
Cousin Charlie, Uncle Barney, Auntie Flo, Cousin Kitty, Cousin Dirk, Uncle Teddy, Auntie Nora.
Gosh, he really can recite all of their names, parrot fashion.
Yes, Mr. Jobling.
Bye.
By early evening, with my elbows resting on the window ledge, I was looking out. Everything was so big in New York. All the buildings were reaching up into the sky. It was like nothing I'd ever seen. And with the smells of people cooking in kitchens all around us, I was becoming rather hungry.
Hey, Jimmy!
Yeah?
Will you finish your game? I got dinner on the table.
What is it?
Your favourite!
What's my favourite?
Whatever it is, I'll make you, you bald-headed good-for-nothing. Now get up here!
Yes, dear. Mind you don't trip and fall out of the window, dear.
What did you say?
Just that I love you, dear. Hey, reader.
Hiya, Peg. How are ya?
Oh, it's too hot.
Tell me about it.
I can smell meatballs. Is that you?
That's me. I did your recipe.
Well, they smell good, Rita.
I mentioned I was making them to Father Constanza, and he said paprika.
Paprika.
Said his mother swore by it.
Nah, she's Italian. She swears by everything. Any good?
Divine. I'll save you some. Jimmy, if you don't get up here, I'm going to pour you dinner on that hairless target of a head of yours. Sorry, Rabbi. I thought you were my Jimmy. Enjoy your schnitzel. Wait, is schnitzel chicken or pork?
I'm taking you to dinner, Doris.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Mr. Jobling.
It says in my guide that there's a wonderful bar across the road called the Canasta Club. We can swipe a quick cocktail over there and then head out to eat.
That sounds lovely.
And remember, there's no rationing here.
None.
Not a powdered egg in sight. Now, what say I meet you downstairs at 7?
Of course.
Hello, Doris. That's a rather fetching dress. You picked that up in Bond Street?
No, my cousin Betty made this for me.
Oh, good old Betty. Now, there's the entrance to the Canasta Club, so let's cross the street here.
Are you sure, Mr. Jobling? The sign there says stop.
Look, there's no traffic. Come along, Doris. You see, Doris? Absolutely fine.
Evening and welcome to the Canasta Club.
Yes, we were just hoping for a pre-dinner cocktail.
Well, you've come to the right place. Please descend the staircase and our maitre d' will show you to your table.
Thank you, large man. Come along, Doris.
Thank you.
Bonsoir and welcome to the Canasta Club. Do you have a réservation?
And no, we've just arrived in New York and we were hoping for an aperitif before heading on for somewhere else for dinner.
There is no need, monsieur. You can eat here.
Whilst I appreciate the French tradition of unusual delicacies, I'm afraid I'll have to draw the line at here.
Not here. Here.
Oh, here.
Oui, monsieur. Excusez-moi for my bad pronunciation.
Oh, that all works rather well, as we're very tired and our lodgings are only a short journey from here.
Pardon, monsieur?
It was a little joke.
Of course, monsieur. I'm sure it was enormously funny. Your name, please.
Jobling.
Well, Monsieur Jobling, we have the best menu in Hell's Kitchen. Everything is très fresh, and our gin is homemade.
Ooh.
Wilma! Please escort Monsieur Jobling and his guest to table 11 and give them the gin cocktail menu to start. Allez!
Yes, Mr. Renaud. Follow me, please.
I'd never been anywhere like it. It was so... What's the word?
Opulent?
I don't know what that means, so probably yes, opulent. Tablecloth shimmered in the low lighting, and when we sat down, the menus we were given had so many cocktails. How on earth could I decide?
Need any help, Doris?
There's just so much to choose from, Mr. Jobling.
Are you ready to order now?
What would you recommend, Wilma?
For the lady, the happy flapper. And for you, the gin and hit.
Ooh, that sounds divine.
Yes, sounds intriguing. Thank you.
Good. Now enjoy the entertainment whilst I get you those drinks.
Well, now, I'm famished and tired, and you know I get irritable when I haven't eaten.
I understand, Mr. Jobling.
Just bring me a cocktail and something to eat, and I'll be as happy as the Portuguese.
Oh, are the Portuguese a very happy people?
Oh, yes, tremendously.
Excuse me. I hope you don't mind me introducing myself. My name is Louis Pineapple.
Oh, no.
You may know me as Louis Pineapples.
Oh, are you a fruit seller?
No.
Oh.
I'm the owner of this bar and a businessman.
Yes, well, thank you for explaining who you are. Now, if you'll excuse us, we just want to be left.
I hear you're British, and I just wanted to say it's nice to have a bit of class around the place. You from London?
Yes, that's right, we are.
I knew it! What'd I say, Manny?
You said they were from London, Bob.
Yeah, I did. I said that. And your, lady friend?
I'm Doris Golightly. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Pineapples. I'm Mr. Jobling's assistant.
Enchante. That is a beautiful dress, Miss Golightly, if I may say.
Oh, stop it. Cousin Betty, sewing machine, a singer.
You're a singer?
Nonsense. Miss Golightly and I are amateur
Yes, that's right. We're singers and gin lovers. We do a lot of singing and drinking gin.
Yes, lovely, lovely gin. Less confident about the singing aspect.
Well, you're in the right place for gin and singing.
On the subject of gin, we heard there's a big gin convention happening in New York at the moment.
The biggest ever. Well, everything's bigger in New York.
Here are your drinks, all using a delicious homemade gin. One happy flapper for the lady, and the gin and hit for the gentleman.
Why did you slap me?
It comes with the cocktail. You ready to order now?
Not yet, Wilma. Look, listen, Mr. Pineapples.
Louis, please.
Look, no, thank you. I like saying pineapples. Look, thank you very much for welcoming us, but we're very tired and not much company, I'm afraid.
Of course, I understand. I'll leave you for now, but listen, tonight, you are my guests. Wilma!
Yes, Mr. Pineapples.
You make sure my friends here get whatever they want.
Yes, Mr. Pineapples.
You have a good night, you hear? And Jobling, maybe you and I can have a little tete-a-tete later on regarding gin.
I'm sorry, did you just wink at me?
I did.
You just winked at me again. Are you all right?
Look, enjoy your meal. Tried the meatballs. Very good. Boy, is that guy an idiot.
What on earth was all that about? And why did you say we were singers?
Sorry, Mr. Jobling, but I just had a funny feeling about this.
As in funny ha-ha?
No, as in funny don't tell him we're detectives.
Yes, well, that winking thing was certainly very odd. But right, first things first, to our good health.
Oh, yes. Cheers, Mr. Jobling. Well, I say, that is remarkable.
A Those cocktails all right for you?
Oh yes, thank you.
That was outstanding. Like manna from heaven. Any chance I could sneak in another one?
Yes?
Without the slap?
No?
Oh.
You ordered dinner?
Yes. Look, leave this with me. Right, Doris, let's start with a French onion soup, followed by the New York strip medium rare with a gratin dauphinoise, followed by the cheesecake for dessert. Well, that was incredible. Just wonderful, from cocktail to cheesecake.
Good.
Wilma, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Wilma. That was the best beef and potatoes I ever had.
Don't forget the courtesy of Mr. Pineapples, so no charge for you people.
For which we're very grateful, Wilma. Here, that's for you.
$20. That's more than I earn in a week.
Oh, well, consider it my pleasure whilst I work out what the conversion rate is.
Thank you. Hey, get your hands off of me.
You sneaky little hack. Take your pen and your stupid little notepad and get out of here.
I know about you and I know what your boss is planning.
Why, you dirty little meatball.
Everyone seems to be obsessed with meatballs.
Hey, you're making a scene.
You want I slap him?
No, Wilma. Manny, Polly, show this guy the door.
I know where the door is. I don't want to be shown.
If you ever show your face here again, it'll be curtains for you, do you hear?
Oh, good, because I could use some curtains. I think there's one of your men standing outside my apartment every night looking in.
You had your fun, now get out!
That poor man didn't look as if he knew what had happened.
I didn't see. Oh, sorry. Oh, gosh, I really am ready for bed.
Now let's have some music. Jobling, Miss Golightly, please excuse the kerfuffle.
Look, listen here, Pineapples. You've got your hands full, so we'll head off and leave you to it, eh?
Jobling, that thing I was talking about earlier.
When you were winking at me.
Louie! Louie! Oh, goodness, there you are. Well, aren't you going to introduce me to your friends? They look so, sophisticated.
Kiki, this is Mr. Jobling and Miss Golightly. They're from England and apparently don't like first names.
No.
They're both singers.
No, you're singers?
Yes.
Not really.
Oh my goodness, you're British. That's just wonderful.
Is it?
Well, I'm Kiki DeMille. Nice to meet you, Mr. Jobling. I'm the resident singer here at the Canasta Club. I'm also engaged to Louie over there. Hello, Schmookum.
Hello, Kiki dear.
Good evening, Mr. Meal.
Oh, very formal.
Hello, Kiki. I'm Doris. Very nice to meet you.
Doris, what a lovely name. Doris.
Yes, my name means a present. My mother always told me I was the best present she ever had.
Oh, stop it. You're going to make me cry.
So, Jobling, I'm gonna let you into a little secret. We make our own gin here.
That's not a secret. You told me that earlier.
Sure. Well, it's made using a secret recipe and it's very popular. We're gonna start selling it in Europe too.
Oh, not this again.
Louie, I just love this lady. She and I are getting on so well. Oh my goodness, I've just had the most amazing idea. Why don't we all have dinner tomorrow night?
Oh, that would be lovely.
No.
Oh, say yes, Mr. Jobling. We can eat together and, how do you British say it, waggle each other's chins.
We can have a chin wag.
Yeah, a chin wag. Oh, isn't that adorable?
It is my little pumpkin.
I think I'm just going to go to bed now and pretend none of this ever happened.
You beautiful British man.
Really?
Thank you so much for dinner, Mr. Pineapples.
It was a pleasure, Miss Golightly.
And good night, Kiki. So nice to meet you.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. Oh, I could just eat you all up. You're so cute.
Well, good night, Jobling, and see you soon.
Night all. Well, Doris, time for bed at last.
Excuse me?
Oh, no.
I'm Scoop McGann of Hell's Kitchen Daily Bugle.
Weren't you the man downstairs causing the kerfuffle?
That's right. Listen, you look like you're decent people.
I'm not.
Sorry about him. He's very grumpy at the moment.
Look, I'll level with you. That guy you met downstairs, Louis Pineapples,
Yes?
well, he's one of the most corrupt men in New York City. And, well, I'd like you to know I'm keeping an eye on him.
Yes, well, it rather looked like he was frightened of you.
Oh, he is, believe me. I know he is.
Look, I'm sorry, Mr. McGee.
McGann, do you mind me asking your names?
Oh, look, if this makes it go any quicker, my name is John Jobling, and this is my assistant, Doris Golightly.
I know you. You're the two who solved the case of the missing gin magnet.
Yes,
And the juniper shortage in Scotland.
correct.
And recovered the secret gin recipe on board the Queen Mary.
Very nice. Are you quite finished?
What do you say we get some coffee?
The only place we're going to go is to our respective bedrooms, Mr. Magoo.
McGann.
Miss Golightly and I are exhausted from our journey, and we need to get some sleep. Good night.
But
I'm sorry, Mr. McGann, but Mr. Jobling is right.
Get out of the road!
I've every right to be crossing.
Oh dear, I should go.
here, take my card. Just in case you need anything, you call me, okay?
Oh, very well.
Good night, Doris.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing. What's wrong with you?
I'm coming, Mr. Jobling. Mr. Jobling was out like a light. I could hear him and the eaglets snoring. I wasn't so tired, me. My head was full of all the new sounds of our little corner of the city. Strange languages, different music, steam vents giving out steam. And the constant hum of motor cars. There were so many motor cars. In London, the city would go to sleep at around midnight. In New York, it just didn't. Down below, I could see the ground lit dimly with street lamps. But suddenly there was a light. It was the cellar doors of the Canasta Club opening up, and there were people talking.
Here, load up the truck with this gin. Only tonight and tomorrow night now.
I know, Paulie. We're gonna be rich.
It's the perfect time to do this while the gin convention's on. Gin coming in and out from all over the world. No one will notice.
Hey, you two, hurry up. Lots of work to do tonight. Tomorrow, the big boss arrives. Oh, he is so powerful.
Wilma, you all right?
You just keep working. Tomorrow, you and dim-witted friend here get your money. Now, hurry up.
Yes, Wilma. All right, Wilma.
That better.
I was not at all sleepy. I knew it was probably a bad idea to go down there alone, so I knocked on Mr. Jobling's door to see if he was awake. Mr. Jobling? Mr. Jobling. Oh, fast asleep. Maybe I'll just go down and check anyway. What harm can that do? I'll just hide behind these bins.
Hello.
Engelbert, shh! What are you doing here?
Naughty Doris. Bad mother.
Engelbert, shh!
And when you go back onto the street, don't make a sound. Polly, you are too noisy.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I get excited.
Well, don't. Just get on with it. Both of you.
Look, Manny, all we gotta do to get through tomorrow, collect our dough and hightail it up to Canada. You boys going to Canada, eh?
Yeah, where are you off to, boss?
Well, I thought I'd take Kiki on holiday to Cuba and then, well, stay there.
That is very nice.
You know, I promised her I'd go straight.
We know.
So I'm packing all this in. I feel bad about flooding the entire gin market of Europe with our bootleg moonshine. No, I don't. They're all so snooty over there with their history and all their little countries with slightly different recipe for meatballs.
Yeah, I mean, a meatball is a meatball, right?
Exactly. I mean, look at that Jobling fella.
Man, was that guy a piece of work.
But did you see how he loved the cocktails, though?
Well, it is the best gin, boss.
That ain't gin, Manny. That's alcohol distilled with pine needles and lavender. It's a heck of a lot cheaper than using juniper berries, and if old Jobling there couldn't taste the difference, I doubt the Pope or the King or any Duke is gonna either.
Genius, boss.
Fake gin. Fake gin.
Engelbert, shh!
Well, well, well. What do we have here?
Oh, hello. I was just out for a walk.
You normally do that by squatting behind trash cans.
Oh, they're actually called bins. Sorry, nervous.
See, I can't work out if you're lying because you're stupid or because you think we're stupid.
You're not stupid. You're, lovely.
Manny, take her to the rummy club and lock her in the basement.
Yeah, boss.
Manny, take her to the rummy club and lock her in the basement.
I heard, boss.
That wasn't me, that was the stupid Boyd. Hey, get out of here. Hey, wait a minute, Miss Golightly. Can you really sing?
Like a nightingale.
Lupita's got laryngitis, so little Miss British over here can sing a few songs, then lock her in the basement. After that, leave Knuckles to make sure she stays there, and come and meet me at the ship on Pier 81.
Yeah, boss.
By tomorrow night, Mr. Big will have his fake gin, we'll have our dough, and then we'll leave New York forever.
That's right, little man. You will leave New York forever.
That was the first part of the Gin Chronicles in New York. So, Doris has been kidnapped, Jobling is predictably fast asleep and none the wiser, and Louis Pineapples is intent on destabilising the entire gin industry. But will he get away with it? Will Jobling be able to find Miss Golightly before she meets a sticky, if tuneful end? And who is the mysterious Mr. Big? Find out after these short advertisements when we return to the Gin Chronicles in New York. And now a few words about tonic.
Excuse me, may I ask you a quick question for the radio?
Oh, all right, go on then.
It's about the weather.
Oh, I'm very good at talking about the weather.
Oh, go on.
I shall. It's very hot outside. Too hot, really.
And has it stopped you doing the things you love?
Yes, it most certainly has. I've had to stop collecting shiny bits of metal, as they're now too hot to pick up. And I haven't been rambling for a couple of weeks, as Mr. Collins, our lead rambler, had a horrible accident on the South Downs in mid-July.
Perhaps he was thirsty, in which case he should have sipped on a nice, refreshing glass of Jeffrey's tonic water.
They had to amputate his leg.
Whose leg?
Mr. Collins. But then, that's the state of our hospitals at the moment. My husband says we need some sort of nationalised health service.
Yes, I feel we're veering away from the matter at hand. So let's bring it back to Jeffrey's tonic water, shall we? Here, try some.
It's very nice. We're going to have to choose a new lead rambler now, what with Mr. Collins only having one leg.
Yes, that's fascinating. I deeply regret asking you to stop and talk to us.
Will this Jeffrey's conker water...
Jeffrey's tonic water?
Will it do anything for my bunions?
No, please stop talking.
Will it help Mr. Collins' leg grow back?
Shh! Jeffrey's tonic water, a refreshing drink on its own or with a nice bit of gin, available from all good grocery stores, and the Jeffrey's catalogue.
Will it cure my husband's laziness?
No. And now a little something about gin.
Lavinia, come downstairs, dear. The delivery from Captain Botanical's Gin Club has arrived.
Oh, coming, Hetty!
It's so exciting having a new gin to taste every month.
I'm unwrapping it and it's sea glass gin.
Oh, that's nothing new. Everybody knows sea glass.
There's a message here. Oh dear, can you read it? I haven't got my monocle with me.
Yes. It says, when searching for the thing that's most sublime, perhaps it's been there in front of you all of the time.
Hetty, that's gin o'clock. May as well open it up and have a G&T. Jeffrey's?
Jeffrey's.
I stand corrected.
Corrected.
I'd forgotten just how good that is.
Yes, that really does hit the spot. Oh.
Sea glass gin. The best things stand the test of time. So refresh your taste buds and share the classic flavours of sea glass.
It really is very good.
And now for the final part of the Gin Chronicles in New York. We rejoin the story as Jobling is getting ready to enjoy New York after having finally been able to use the only bathroom in his hotel. Ah, lovely. All clean and dressed. Now to check on Doris. Oh, she must not have heard me. Hello? Doris? Doris? I don't think she's ever overslept as long as I've known her.
She's not here. She's not here.
Doris? Doris?
Manny, take her to the Rummy Club and lock her in the basement.
Well, that is strange.
Manny, take her to the Rummy Club and lock her in the basement.
Engelbert, be quiet, would you? I'm trying to work out where Miss Golightly may be.
Manny, take her to the Rummy Club and lock her in the basement.
Hello. What's this? A calling card? Scoop McGann? That's the journalist chappie. Perhaps he knows something. But I'd better find him.
Hurry!
All right, Engelbert. Don't worry. I'll find Miss Golightly as soon as I can. Right. To the Hell's Kitchen Daily Bugle. Poor Doris. I hope she's all right. Oof.
Mr. Jobling?
Mr. McGann.
Oh, you got my name right.
Yes, you see, well, when I was at Eton, we were taught to deliberately forget the names of anyone who wasn't important.
What's Eton?
Oh, never mind.
Where's Doris?
Oh, I thought you would know. Look, I found your card on her pillow.
Oh, I gave it to her last night whilst you were jaywalking.
Look, never mind about all that. Where could she have gone?
Look, Mr. Jobling, I just came here to ask Doris out for a cup of coffee or a tea.
Yes, well, she's gone, and Engelbert keeps saying, Manny, take her to the Rummy Club and lock her in the basement.
Can we please stop running? Who is Engelbert? Why is he talking about the Rummy Club?
I thought you were supposed to be the reporter.
What?
Look, we have to find Doris. I mean, Miss Golightly.
Are you two,
Don't be ridiculous. She's my housemaid.
And who's Engelbert?
Engelbert is Miss Golightly's parrot.
And what does he keep saying to you?
Manny, take her to the Rummy Club and lock her in the basement.
Well then, I say our first move is to go to the Rummy Club, which is also owned by Louis Pineapples. And then we try to get down into the basement to search for Doris. What time is it?
It's, good Lord, it's 5 o'clock. I really must have needed that sleep.
It opens in an hour. Let's get there and check it out.
Won't we be recognised?
Oh, that's true.
Look here. Let's put these on. Aha, no one will suspect us.
How did you get a hold of these?
I was at Eton. Now come along, tempus fugit.
Where am I?
Hello, cutie pie. You're in the Rummy Club.
Kiki, is that you?
You ain't as dumb as your partner looks.
I don't understand. I thought Louis was...
Trying to hide all this from me? He is. He doesn't know that I know, but of course, I know. We know everything, right?
I'm afraid I can't say I do.
I love Louis. He ain't perfect, but who is? I know he wants to go straight, and I love him for it.
Kiki, what Louis is doing is a very big crime. It could ruin an entire continent's gin production for years to come.
The problem with Louis is he thinks you can't be happy unless you got big bucks. He's got too much pride, and it's going to bite him in his, well, you know.
I do.
All I want is to live happily ever after with him, somewhere nice, by a lake. He's very good with his hands. You know, that too. But I mean woodwork. We can build a house, and I can raise chickens, grow tomatoes, and learn how to milk a cow. Or a goat.
It still doesn't change what he's done.
Oh, you British, you're so high and mighty. I like you, though. Just get down off your big high horse. Do what Louis says, and you'll be fine. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Right, Manny,
Yeah, boss.
take Miss Golightly to the stage.
Yeah, boss.
You go out there. You sing, you come back here. You hear?
Yes, Mr. Pineapples.
Come along, Miss Golightly. Now, as you all know, Lupin Satin is resting her voice at the moment, We didn't expect to find a singer for you so soon, but it turns out we have a very special guest all the way from England. Would you please give a warm Rummy Club welcome to Miss Doris Golightly?
Thank you. Mr. Bandleader, excuse me, do you know stormy weather? All right. Here's something I used to sing when I was hanging out the laundry during the war. Don't know why there's no sun up in the sky, stormy weather. Since my man and I ain't together, keeps raining all the time. Life is bad, gloom and misery everywhere, stormy weather. Just can't get my poor self together. I'm weary all the time, the time. Keeps raining all the time. When he went away, the blues walked in and met me. If he stays away, old rocking chair will get me. All I do is pray the Lord above will let me walk in the sun once more. Can't go on. All I have in life is gone. Stormy weather. Since my man and I ain't together, keeps raining all the time. Keeps raining all the time. Keeps raining all the time.
That's Doris.
Ah, God, she's an angel.
Evening, ladies. Would you like something to drink?
No, we're fine, thank you. No, we're fine, thank you.
Yes, we're fine.
Suit yourselves. I'll bring you the food menus.
Right, Mr. McGann. Now, you see those two large gentlemen by the curtain there?
Yeah?
I presume they're there to make sure that Miss Golightly doesn't abscond, as their eyes are trained on her as a squirrel's would be to an available acorn.
Makes sense.
So when Miss Golightly leaves the stage, we follow her and we'll divvy up if necessary.
On me?
Divvy up. Divide.
Oh, right.
You want to order anything?
No.
Oh, no, sorry.
We're just...
Yeah, we've had a long day.
Well, she was bitten by a parrot.
No, I wasn't.
Well, an eagle, then.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna come back in 5 minutes, okay?
Quick, she's leaving.
And look, those men are indeed guiding her away. Golly, I was right.
Come on, Jobling.
One of them's leaving and going off somewhere.
It's too dark to see who's got Doris.
Look, you go that way and I'll go this way. And look, whoever hasn't got Doris, try and find the other one.
It's not the best plan I've ever heard.
Look, have you got anything better?
No.
Yes, well, shall we get on with it?
Yes.
Right. This way, Miss Golightly.
I must say, Paulie, you're very polite for a henchman.
Thank you. Now, get in here, if you please, Miss Golightly.
Here goes. Oh, well, hello there. I'm just a friendly cleaner from one of your southern states.
Oh, yeah?
Surely your boss, Mr. Pineapple's told you about the new cleaner.
Well, where's all your cleaning stuff?
Yeah, well, now, that is a very good question. My sister, who's also a cleaner, has it with her.
Your sister?
That's right, my sister. Well, now, there she is. Hello, sister.
Hello, sister.
I was just telling this fine gentleman here about our cleaning job.
What?
This fine gentleman, I'm sorry, what's your name?
Paulie.
Paulie, what a lovely name. Well, I was just telling Paulie here that you had all the cleaning stuff.
Oh, I thought you had it.
Well, fiddle me dee, sister.
There's cleaning stuff in here. Why don't you use that?
Oh, yes, well, thank you very much, Mr. Paulie. Oh, there must be some mistake.
I may be a henchman, but I ain't stupid. Your dresses are too nice to be cleaners, so you can all stay right here and Knuckles can deal with you.
Oh dear.
Miss Golightly, it's me and Mr. McGann here.
Oh, Mr. Jobling, I knew that from the moment I saw you. Sorry, but you're not very convincing as women from the South.
As women generally?
No.
Oh, well, Miss Golightly, may I say it's good to see you alive and well.
Well, it was awfully nice of you to dress as ladies and try to rescue me. By the way, why were you dressed as women?
We have very little time. We need to figure out how we can escape.
What on earth was that?
I'm fairly certain that was the sound of Knuckles, who I believe is a psychopath.
Hey, look what I found under this rug.
What is it, Scoop?
A manhole. We can escape down into the sewers.
I don't like the idea of that. Oh, my word, the stench is unbearable.
You first, Jobling, or would you prefer torture and death?
Oh, very well.
Now you, Doris.
Thank you, Scoop.
That's all right. But I best pull the cover over.
What now?
I reckon we follow downhill until we get to the river. I think Knuckles is above us.
I think you're right. Come on then.
Just downhill to the river.
Oh no, rats!
I hate rats.
Rats aren't so bad.
Well, I'm not a fan.
Is this the one? Yes, Your Majesty. He's the one who saved me. Are you sure? He looks very dim. Yes, he is, Your Majesty, but also very kind. Kind but dim. Oh well, We should help him get to the river. Fetch the rat taxi. Fetch the rat taxi!
I've a feeling that rat wearing the crown wants us to follow her.
You saying you can talk to rats now?
I think Mr. Jobling's right.
Look, they seem to have some sort of rat-based vehicle. I'm absolutely positive they're trying to help us.
I think we should go with them too.
Are you crazy? This is rats we're talking about.
Look, hop on, Doris. McGann, we're going. Are you coming or not?
But I hate rats.
Quickly, there's a ladder up the pier there. Right. Where are we?
Now, as soon as he gets here, we take our money, give him the gin recipe, and we leave. Capiche? No niceties.
That's Louis Pineapples.
Wilma, what are you doing here?
I am waiting for my boss.
I'm your boss.
No, you are little squashed potato on shoe of boss.
Mr. Joblin, I don't like the sound of this.
Look, I'm sorry, but why are we actually here, putting our lives at risk?
They're selling a gin that doesn't contain juniper berries. It's a lot cheaper to make and means they can't undercut the entire gin market on price.
You know all about that?
Well, that's treachery. I'm sorry, that's treachery.
Well, I'm a reporter.
And I am, as you say, gangster's mole.
For Mr. Big?
Yes, you catch on like swordfish on fishing line. Now silence for Mr. Big. Mr. Big!
Louis henchman and my Wilma.
Oh, you are a fantastic lover.
Yes, I am.
Well, Mr. Big, I have everything for you. Polly and Manny have loaded all the stock on board.
Pauline, Manny, I am very grateful. Please show Wilma the stock so I can check it.
Yes, Mr. Big. Thank you very much, Mr. Big.
Just through there, and now they are locked in.
Good. They loaded it all on. Now they can load it all off the other end in Europe.
That wasn't the deal, Mr. Big.
Louis. Always by the book.
I call that loyalty, Mr. Big. Now, will you please release my men?
I think not. The problem is that you want too much, Louis.
But you agreed to everything I asked.
I agreed you could make the booze, Louis. The fake gin. I never said you could leave.
He does that sometimes. Because he is so powerful. My big juggernaut. You don't have any weaknesses. Apart from that one we don't talk about.
Ooh, he has a weakness.
I wonder what it can be.
Well. What do we have here?
Oh, come on, Wilma. Surely you remember us from the Canasta Club.
Shut up, grumpy cocktail man. It was a figure of speech.
Bring them out, Wilma.
Mr. Big, you don't need to waste any more time on us. Just release Manny and Polly and you'll never see or hear from us again.
It is unfortunate, but I can't do that.
Oh, please, Mr. Big!
Kiki?
Yes, it's me. I was listening in from behind that barrel. Mr. Big, I beg you, please let him go. He ain't no trouble.
He knows too much. You see, nothing can get in the way of my beautiful fake gin getting sold in every store in Europe.
I love your crazy plans and your gravelly voice.
That's right. The British, the Spanish, the Germans, and those ridiculous happy Portuguese.
You see, Doris, I told you.
They think gin is all about them. Well, this is gigantic shipment.
How much is there?
More than your tiny little mind could possibly imagine. Very soon, Wilma, my dear, you'll be celebrating controlling the entire global gin market.
Well, if we're all going to meet our maker, I may as well tell you the truth about your gin.
Say what now?
Well, the chemical makeup means it'll slowly change as you cross the Atlantic. By the time you reach Europe, it'll have changed into vinegar.
What?
Oh, I knew it! I knew you were good. I love you!
I love you too, Kiki.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
This is the biggest store since the war, and I'm going to break it.
Silence, all of you. It is my great pleasure in assuring that none of you will leave here alive.
Except me, right?
Yes, except you and me, Wilma.
Hello.
It's Engelbert and all his relatives.
Cousin Charlie, Uncle Barney, Auntie Flo, Cousin Kitty, Cousin Dirk, Uncle Teddy, Auntie Nora.
No, not birds. It is one of my weaknesses. My allergy to feathers.
Not just any birds, New York parrots, which are the biggest in the world.
Take him to the zoo. Drop him in the lion enclosure.
Help me, Wilma.
Come on, grab him, bite him, lift him.
The parrots, they're so big.
Don't worry, Wilma is coming.
Well done, Engelbert.
Done, Engelbert.
Go on. Shh.
Thank you, Doris.
Miss Golightly.
Thank you, Miss Golightly.
Thank you, Miss Golightly.
My goodness, who'd have thought it? My parrot Engelbert and his family carting off one of New York's biggest criminals.
That was just incredible.
Jobling, Doris, I must follow the parrots to the zoo, but I'll need comment from Louis Pat. Oh,
the door where the henchmen were is unlocked.
It looks like they've made a run for it.
Don't worry about them. I have a feeling they'll be fine.
I'm sure they will. I must go. Nice to meet you, Jobling.
Yes, it was jolly nice being a lady from the south with you.
Yeah, sure. Doris, would you like a cup of coffee before you go back?
Oh, well, that'd be nice.
Oh, great. Well, I better run. Thanks again. This story's going to have the New York Times calling all over.
Doris, here's Mr. McGann's card.
Oh.
In case you need it. Golly, we've had quite the day, Doris.
Indeed we have, Mr. Jobling.
Jobling!
Angus?
Oh, thank goodness. I've been looking everywhere for you. I wanted to tell you that things didn't work out with me and Toffee.
Oh?
No, she was sniffing around and discovered the bagpipes. Having made some completely unacceptable comments about my music, she flounced back to Hollywood, so the coast is clear. You can come and stay.
Well, now that is good news.
I say, it's Doris, isn't it?
No. And that was the Gin Chronicles in New York, starring John Holmes as John Jobling, Ellie Ball as Doris Golightly, Alex Howell as Wilma, Scooper Gann, Angus McBeethoven and others. Liz Daly as Louis Pineapples, Paulie and others. David Daly is the Foley artist and Mr. Big. Zuby as Engelbert, and Charlotte Ball as the voice of Engelbert. The director was Liz Daly. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Mint Theatre Society.